radio for Catholic life to start your day. It's Morning Air on Relevant Radio. With Glenn Leverance, here's your host, John Harper.
Good morning, 5 minutes after the hour on this feast of St. Augustine. It's Thursday, August 28th, 2014. John Harper and Glenn Leverance here on Morning Air and available on your Relevant Radio app, available on relevantradio.com, available on Facebook, available on Twitter. Social media now a part of our lives, marrying social media with the church. Certainly, we've seen Pope Francis do that. At Pontifex is his Twitter handle, at Pontifex, and he's always making news with the headlines that he's putting out on Twitter, and also with the Pope app. Yeah, the Pope has his own app. You talk about embracing electronic evangelization. The Pope is actually personifying that as well, and it's a part of the mission that he has given us as St. John Paul II. And that's what we're going to talk about is electronic evangelization, how we can use all of these tools to get the good news out, even at the parish level. It's funny, yesterday we were talking about perhaps the death of the parish bulletin as things become green, as things go online. Let's talk about that with someone who's really an expert at this. Joining us from the Archdiocese of Boston, Scot Landry is the president of the Good Catholic Leadership Group. He's also the former cabinet secretary for Catholic media at the Archdiocese of Boston, and he established that, grew its new media ministry. Say that again, new media ministry. Let's find out more about that and welcome Scot to Morning Air. Good morning, Scot. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, John.
You're very much a trailblazer in this new media ministry. I know with Cardinal O'Malley just saying, okay, Scot, go at it. What did you do to develop new media ministry, and what falls under that umbrella in the Archdiocese of Boston?
So Cardinal Sean, like Pope Francis has been telling us, like all of our popes, and certainly going back to the Great Commission we all received from Jesus at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, we're called to go out and evangelize everyone. And throughout the history of the church, that has usually taken the form of missionaries from one country taking a boat or walking a long way or taking a plane in these days to go to places where Jesus isn't as present as we're called to make him present. So over the last decade, with all of these new media tools that have been developed, the popes and leaders like Cardinal Sean throughout the world have been calling on Catholics, not just Catholic organizations, but all Catholics, to give a soul to these new tools like Facebook or Twitter or certainly websites and blogs, and then to share some of our posts about our life of faith. You know, we're not called, and Pope Francis on his own Twitter account isn't always posting just a scriptural passage. A lot of the time he's praying for something that is happening in the world, or he's asking us to get involved, or he's thanking people who follow him on Twitter. Very down to earth. That's what he's encouraging us all to do. Every Catholic that we're trying to welcome home to the church in our families and in our neighborhoods. We all know people who are baptized Catholic but aren't practicing today. It's my belief that we're one retweet or one share of a Facebook post away from reaching them with a message that could be the beginning that God would use that would start them on a path back to the church.
Great way to put it. 9 minutes after the hour with Scot Landry, the president of Good Catholic Leadership Group. We're talking about how he developed a new media ministry in the Archdiocese of Boston. And by the way, our Sunday visitor has put all of this in a book. Scott has written a book called Transforming Parish Communications, Growing the Church Through New Media. Scott, we have many priests, many pastors who listen to us, many folks who are on parish councils as well. So this is a great book to have in your library as you grow the electronic means of ministering in your parish, transforming parish communications, growing the church through the new media. We were speaking yesterday to one of our family of priests whom we have on here on Relevant Radio, and we were talking about perhaps the death of the parish bulletin, that piece of paper that we always look forward to, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages every Saturday and Sunday in church, kind of giving way to, again, electronic communications.
So I'm not on the same viewpoint that the parish bulletin is going away anytime soon. You know, people have been predicting the death of print newspapers for a long time. And why I think we need the bulletin, we need Catholic newspapers in our dioceses, and we also need to utilize every form of media is because we have different people at different stages of life. You know, in the Archdiocese of Boston, we have the newspaper, The Pilot, the oldest Catholic newspaper in the country, and the Pilot's subscribers are very loyal. Some of them are now on new media or they're reading online stories, but we want to feed everybody with the good news of Christ. We want to feed everybody with news about what's happening in the church, and I think when you look at how diverse a parish is, not only in terms of age, but in terms of life experience and where people come from, we need to make available information and formational content in so many different formats. And what I like about these new media tools is it becomes an online repository of everything that the parish has ever thought is important to share with not only the parishioners that come every week, but those Catholics in the area of the parish that haven't been coming, and certainly all of our friends who practice other faiths. We just want them to know what we're up against. So, you know, I don't see it's new media or bulletins or print. It's all of the above. We're an and, a both and church, not an